This is construction number 14, constructing the geometric mean. So again, I'm going to give you the steps, and I'm going to kind of talk you through why the steps work, and so then we're going to go through and I'll actually run through an actual construction with you guys. So given two segments, construct their geometric mean. Let's just talk about what that means. So we know that when we have a right triangle, so I have a right triangle, those are both straight lines, I promise. And from this vertex, if I drop a perpendicular or drop the altitude, that segment X is the geometric mean between A and B. So that's essentially what we're going to do. First thing we're going to do is, using your straight edge, you're going to construct a segment and you're going to mark off A, and then you're going to mark off B. Then what you're going to do is you're going to locate the midpoint. The midpoint is not going to be the intersection of A and B. You need to calculate construct the midpoint, which is essentially the perpendicular bisector. Again, I'm going to go through a formal construction in a little bit, but this is just the idea. So let's say that's approximately the midpoint. And let's call that M. So using M as the center, and either this point or that point, that's going to be your radius, and you're going to end up drawing a semicircle. Now, why did we do that? Because I know that no matter where I am, this point right here, if I were to draw a segment there and a segment there, that's going to be a right angle anywhere on this. So I can draw any point on that semicircle to the endpoints of this segment is going to be a right angle. So where do I need my right angle? Well, I need my right angle here. I need this perpendicular. So I'm going to erase what I just drew. What you're going to do next then is you're going to construct the perpendicular at the intersection of A and B. So what you're going to do is here at the intersection of segment A and segment B, you're going to construct the perpendicular up. And again, you're constructing the perpendicular using your compass and straight edge. That is our geometric mean. And again, the reasoning behind that is, if I draw in, let me draw in our right triangle. From this point on the semicircle, perpendicular there, or drawing it to the endpoints of the segment, this is now a right triangle. And what do I have? That's your right triangle. What do you have? You have the altitude to the hypotenuse. So now actually going through the actual construction. Given two segments, construct their geometric mean. The first thing you want to do is draw a segment. I usually try and make it longer than A and B. Now, using your compass, take and mark off the length of A. So I take my compass up here, I open it up, so that it is the length of A. I always like to draw a little mark so that the teacher knows. Now let's go with the endpoint of the segment that I drew. Okay. Now what that is A. Now, mark off B. Go up, open up your compass, so that it is the length of B. Go over here. This is the length of B. So what that is, now we need to construct a semicircle where this segment A and B is the diameter. So what I need to do is I need to figure out where the center is. Well, so I need to find the perpendicular bisector of this radius, of this segment. So perpendicular bisector. Set your compass for more than half. Hopefully that's more than half. I'm going to rotate up and down. I'm going to flip it around. Bring my compass over here. Same setting. Up and down. Now the segment from that point there down to the other point this point right here is the midpoint. So technically you don't need to draw that segment. And I'm actually going to I'm going to make this a little less. I'm going to take that segment away, actually. I'm just going to delete it. Because all I needed was that midpoint. And if I make this a little bit lighter, make it not as thick so it's not in our way. Okay, now I know the segment. Now what I need to do is I need to draw the semicircle. So to draw the semicircle, you take your radius, and you have to find the radius. The radius is from that center to the end point of A plus B. So that guy there. Draw your semicircle. There's our semicircle. Now what you need to do is you need to construct a perpendicular at the intersection here of segment A and segment B up to your semicircle. So I need to construct the perpendicular at a point on a line. So I take my compass. I'm going to make this setting a little bit smaller. I'm going to mark there. And then I'm going to flip it around. And I'm going to mark that same setting there. Then what I'm going to do make this a little bit bigger. Swoop down, flip around, same setting. Take and draw that. So then, using your straight edge, from this point here, through that point, up, that is your geometric mean. Now the actual geometric mean is actually just this segment from here up there. That's your geometric mean between A and B.